Welcome, my peace, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peace, my peoples. Let's talk about Shameless, Season 8, Episode 7, Occupy Fiona. Let's occupy Fiona because you know that Ian is wrong for throwing ice buckets of water on his sister every morning for a week. He's been doing this for a week. Debbie's downstairs was like, yo, Carl, should we do something? What's going on with this? And Carl was like, no, Fiona survived in prison and nothing didn't happen to her there. It's only the ice bucket challenge is all good. You know, Frank is like, nah, don't get involved in sibling spats, you know, just mind it or whatever. And so then you got Brad, he comes up in the house, he's all crying, he's in his underwears, and you know, Deb is like, yo, get up. And nobody wants to see a grown man crying in his underwears. Do something with yourself. And we find out, you know, Carl is still out here with this rehab center in his basement and all this other stuff, and he's trying to make that money. And so it's just like, damn, why is Ian pouring water on Fiona like that every morning? That's something wrong with that picture. Like that's how mad and hateful that he can do that to his sister, and she's not fighting him back because she knows that he is mentally ill and he has a problem. He might go crazy and not come back. And so then we have, you know, Lip, he's trying to get, you know, the two guys, he's trying to get Brad, and he's trying to get Ewan get ready to go to court, trying to dress Brad. Brad is crying, he's whining, he wants to see his wife. It's just like, oh. And he's trying to do that. He's babysitting, he's acting like their mother and their father. He's acting like how he used to treat, you know, Frank back in the day. And then he finally gets, you know, Brad getting ready to go to get dressed and all this other stuff. And then now he got to go to urine, but first he goes to take Brad to get something to eat. And then what do we see? We see Ciara. Ciara looks like she's feeling, you know, Lip, and she wants to talk to him about something. So I guess something's going on with her baby daddy. He might be back on drugs, but she's liking the new Lip actually out here helping and working with, you know, people that needs his help that are struggling with alcohol addiction. So we'll see. That's like, damn. So then we get back to Fiona. Fiona's at her house. She's trying to fix it up or whatever. And basically she hears eggs thrown at the window. And then she sees, you know, Ian, he's outside. He's spray painting. Then he actually set up a tent next door to her, a tent city next door to her on his lot. And he says he has, you know, permission from the lady that owns it. He pays $11 for it. They occupy it. Then they're yelling Fiona, calling her a cunt, you know, throwing eggs at the house. It's just like, damn, Ian, you taking this way too far. You doing this to your own sister, your own flesh and blood, the woman that helped raise you, the woman that did raise you, the woman that helped you with all your psychotic breakdowns, you being on drugs, you going to jail, you needing, you know, mental help, her helping you get there. And you know, you just do her like this for these kids that you don't even know, when they can actually occupy a different place. And it's just like, you're after Fiona. It's like, maybe he's like looking at Fiona as being, you know, Monica and being his mother, and he's taking his hate and his revenge out on Fiona because he can't do it to Monica because Monica's dead and gone. And maybe he's upset because none of his brothers and sisters mourned with him about Monica's death or whatever. He had to do that on his own because none of them cared about Monica. It was done deal. So it seems like either he's not taking his medication, or he got a new mental illness, or the medication is not working, or he needs to be diagnosed. He needs to be diagnosed again, and maybe he has some rage and anger issue because throwing ice bucket of water on his sister every morning that helped raise them and keep them she kept that house, keeping them under a roof and all this other stuff. It's just like crazy. Even Trevor comes through. Trevor was like, yo, what are you doing? What, you can't, these are my kids. What are you doing to my kids? It seems like you're using my kids to fight your sister. And he was like, you know, my best interest is the kids. It seems like this is a you and Fiona fight and you're dragging the kids into it. Even Trevor's not down with this. Trevor was like, nah, I'm not hearing that. And so we got Deb. Deb goes back to her job. She's trying to get her job back, whatever. She got her job back because she missed it because, you know, she was out partying. She was on ecstasy and she needs the morning after pill. And basically she explains to her boss that, you know, she needs the Plan B pill. The boss said, you can have your job back. Only thing you have to do is you have to be nicer to the clients. And one of the brain surgeon guys, he's a dick. He's an asshole towards her. He was like, listen, I don't need you to add up my math and add up and count. I'm a brain surgeon. You probably didn't even graduate from high school or third grade, basically down on her because he's a brain surgeon. But there's somebody else out there that's better than you, Mr. Brain Surgeon. So he's trying to shit on her. He's blowing a horn. And now, you know, Franny's crying. Franny's all crying and whatever. Franny's back at her job because Franny is not at the grandmother's house anymore because the baby daddy's over there with his girlfriend. So I guess, Debbie's like, yo, listen, I'm gonna bring my baby back to work in a dog cage. That's just how it's gonna be. I was like, yo. And so the guy drives off, but then Deb wants to get him back, and the way that Deb gets him back is she brings her welding kit to work and she welders the garbage can, the dumpster onto his car, and the boss comes up, what's going on? She was like, I had to do it, I know I'm fired, and she walked away and she left. Go Deb. So hopefully Deb will get another job and get a better job, but it seems like it's gonna work because Carl has got his $3,500 from the rehab place, but basically one of the girls there, her name is Cass, and she was like, yo, pretend like you kidnapped me and held me ransom, my father will give you the money and it's all good. And Carl actually does that. Carl actually gets the money, and the father actually meets up with Carl. I thought Carl was gonna go to jail. I thought this was gonna go terribly wrong. He was like, make sure Cassie comes home for her sister's birthday and bring and wear that same blue dress again, and here's the $20 for her to get it dry cleaned. And so Carl goes down there to try to get her to leave, and she was like no, and she goes down on Carl. She gives him some fellatio in front of the other homeless people or drug addicts, and she doesn't want to leave, but the father warned Carl that she's no good, basically, and she's complaining that she don't want to go to school, go to prep school, chill with P Diddy, play instruments and study for SATs and prep or whatever. So Carl got his money, and then we got to talk about Frank has been around here looking for a job. He's been around here looking for work and everything, and he's the first job interview he went on, he didn't get the job at all because he asked for too much because he's too cocky. And then the other job interview, they wanted someone that had internet experience that can sell hashtag flooring on Facebook or whatever. And she was like, it hurts for me to turn you away because you look just like my grandpa Joe. I was like, yo. And so then Frank goes to an unemployment line. It's all white guys lined up, and just basically talking about the unemployment in this world, especially with people with money, with educations, can't get jobs. And Frank tries to cut the line. He was like, where's the manager line? He was like, get in line, buddy, because everybody over here is managers. And so then Frank is upset. He goes to the bar, he starts drinking, he meets this guy that's a foreigner, and he's going to be deported because he got a speeding ticket. And he talks about all the work that he did for the US and Desert Storm, and he's about to get deported because of a speeding ticket. So he's trying to go to Canada. He couldn't sneak there. And so that's when Frank is like, you know what, I can help you out with that, Blase the third. And then everybody else in the bar was like, well, could you pick up EpiPen for me? Could you pick up insulin for me? Can you pick up this for me? And I'll pay you this and that. So Frank has landed on his feet again. So I'm pretty sure Debbie's going to land on her feet. So Frank is going to be going back and forth, buying stuff from Canada, sneaking aliens in, sneaking someone that's a citizen out because he's about to get deported. So Frank that landed on his feet, and so did Carl land on his feet. So Deb is gonna land on her feet, and so we get to Lip is trying to get these guys to court. He's trying to get Ewan, and he's trying to get Brad back to court. Brad is whining. He wants to see his wife, so he goes to see his wife. They go over there to Ewan's house. He's on the floor, covered in vomit, drunk with a bottle. I was like, oh my God, like I would be like, there's no way I can help. Like, what can I do? Like, come on. Like, what's good with this situation? Situation is bad for business. And so they try to give him a shower and everything, and he's falling over drunk. He don't even care about court. He was like, I'm going to jail. I don't want to go. He was like, I don't want to go to court because I don't want to go to jail. I was just like, damn, son. Like, and then Brad is sitting over there about to cry, and he's talking about, bring me my phone, Lip, and so Lip is asking, where's your towels? Where's your soap? He don't got towels. He don't got soap. Only thing he got is alcohol and a place to stay. And so they threw him in the shower, whatever. And Lip is trying to hold him up so he doesn't fall and all this other stuff. So I'm like, damn, son. And so Lip ends up going to go get some sheets, And Ewan throws up. Brad is so nasty, so disgusting. Brad is sitting there crying and he's about to throw up, and so he goes find some of Ewan's clothes. They drop by Brad's wife house, and Lip begs her to just stand outside for like 10 minutes so Brad can say he loves you and happy birthday and all this other stuff. And she was like, if she can just do that for him, because the guy next to him is going to be going to jail for life or whatever. And it was like, oh, it's like Lip was riding around with a car of rejects, basically, but rejects because of their disability with alcoholism or whatever. It's just like, damn. And Lip is like really putting himself on the line and dedicating himself. But if Lip can take his mind off of his life and his problems, then he's good and he won't get high, like, and he won't drink. But he's not focusing on himself and what he needs to do, because he had a lot of good positions back in the day, and we know, like, on the show, he's like a genius or whatever. But he's with these guys helping them. But what it seems like, and Ian is out here helping other people, and Lip is out here helping other people. What it seems like, the Gallaghers need to help each other, because they have things are gonna happen. I really thought Carl was gonna go to jail with that ransom stuff. So basically, they get to court, and Lip is like pulling like the little tissue cut paper off of Ewan, and it's just like, oh, Ewan is just like, he was like, huh, here's some mints or whatever from Brad or whatever, and he was picky about his mints. I was just like, damn. I was like, yo, this is just crazy. And the lawyer's looking at them like, okay, whatever. And so Brad doesn't really want to testify for Ewan and say that he's been attending, NA meetings or anything like that. But, Lip is able to convince him to do that. But Brad has a lot of nerve, and he done broke the Michael Jordan's hand and stole it. He done had sex with a prostitute. He done robbed the bakery and stole donuts, but yet he can't testify for you. But I guess he don't want to testify either, because he's really freaking drunk and he's probably never gonna get better. So it is what it is with that situation. And so they get to court. The ladies and the lady that Ewan ran into her house with his car, whatever. She was like, the television came and the car came in the television, and everyone was like, oh. And so the professor's like, I'm going to jail. Ewan's like, I'm going to jail, whatever. So then, Brad, he testifies, and he wasn't that good. He would basically, they had to coach him to kind of like lie for Ewan or whatever. Then Lip testifies, and it seems like Lip testimony really, like, it's going to help him, whatever. So then the judge calls break to go to lunch. Ewan's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, whatever. But Ewan went and got some alcohol. He got some liquor. He got fucked up. He came back to court. It was time for him to testify. He couldn't even get up out the chair. He was falling over. I was like, this is so bad. And Liv was like, are you meaning he's drunk? Are you serious? He's drunk? And so he gets up there. He's tumbling over. I was like, this is a goddamn shame. But I was laughing the whole time. And then he gets on the stand, he looks at the judge, and he says, hola, and that was it. So now he's in jail, and it's over. Lip goes to visit him in lockup and was like, yo, you would have got probation, you would have got halfway house, you would have got this, you wouldn't have been locked up like this. Why did you go drink? He goes, because how did you get the liquor? He goes, I'm an alcoholic, I can get liquor. And he was and Lip was like, yo, I can't believe you did this. I cleaned up your vomit, tried to help you get to court, I did this, I did that for you. He was like, I didn't ask you to do anything, you volunteered. I chose alcohol a long time ago. And that's it. If you don't like what you see, don't look. I was like, no, he did not go there. He was like, if you don't like what you see, don't look. I chose alcohol years ago. I chose alcohol over my family. I chose alcohol over my drugs. Over my family, my job, teaching. He chose alcohol a long time ago. Basically, he's telling Lip that you can't help me. You can't save me. Either you take me as I am, or don't take me at all. But I'm an alcoholic, and that's that. And Lip don't want to believe it, because Lip believes if they fail, he fails. But Lip needs to focus on his sobriety. And Lip was like, yo, you know how bad I wanted to drink, dealing with you guys all day? That's why you got to get away. You can't be right now. The stressful situation is keeping you away from drinking, but it might also force you back to drinking. So Lip needs to focus on himself. And it seems like, what's her name? Ciara, she seems like she's feeling lip again, and she's probably having problems with her baby daddy. I was like, damn, Lip did all that when he actually came to court drunk. Afterwards, when they went on break and he came back drunk, I was just like, no, he didn't. It was so funny when he got up and he was just almost falling down. That shit was hilarious. And so, and actually watching Frank, Frank trying to get work or whatever, and then Frank looking over there at this old man being yelled at by this young guy or whatever, mopping the floor. And it just shows you like what people that are over 50, people over 60 that still have to work, sometimes they get mistreated at these jobs. They have to take minimum wage when they do have education. And just talking about how, when you reach a certain age, how you're being mistreated at the job and how people look down on you because you're older, not look up to you because you might be wise and might have some experience. So it's just like, damn, it was just sad. So, but anyways, so we get back to Ian. He goes back to the house. So Fiona has this guy fixing the door or whatever. It's a Victorian door. The guy was telling her that this door is worth like, $4,000. I mean, no, not $4,000, but it's worth a lot. It's only 4 of them in Chicago, and he knew what type of door it was, and he's gonna fix it for free. And he seems like he might like Fiona, and I hope that's possibly Fiona's new love interest or whatever. And so then that's when Ian is throwing eggs, and she's telling the door guy that, hey, the door repair guy, hey, I'm not a slumlord, this and that, and all this other stuff. And he's just like, okay, I don't care. I'm just gonna fix the door because I want to. And so then that's when the fire code people come in. Fiona got to pay $400 because he called the fire code on her. The fire department saying she violating code because she got rid of, the tent people out there, the tent kids. So, Ian's out there with all the tent kids or whatever, and they're occupying the parking lot that's right next to her property, and they're yelling, they're screaming, they're calling Fiona cunts, they spray painting, they're throwing eggs at her, they're doing all this shady shit. And just like Ian is just so into just doing this to his sister to bring her down. Like, he's so angry with her and he's so mad with her. I just think it has to do with some Monica, or he has a new issue, or he's not taking his meds. And and Trevor doesn't even agree. And so Fiona pays the kids $20 to bounce, and she pays one of the leaders that was with Ian, about $100 or $80 to leave, and they bounce. And she have some workers come and get rid of all the tents and stuff. And so when Ian comes back, he's upset, he's yelling, he's screaming, he's yelling at Fiona's face, calling her names. And she was like, are you taking your meds? And he was like, yeah, I'm taking my meds. Anytime I get angry, you're gonna say that I'm not taking my meds? That's what you're gonna do? I can't get angry or whatever. It just seems like Ian is having a whole new another breakdown. He might be even having a nervous breakdown by taking on being an EMT, taking on these kids, and then dealing with the kids at the shelter, and dealing with all their problems and their emotions that probably remind him of himself, then having sex with that couple to get the money, and then having Monica die and nobody in his family want to mourn with him or even help him with mourning or feel hurt about their mother being dead. So he's going through a lot, but he's taking it out on the wrong person. But who do people usually take their problems out on? The person that's closer to them, the person that cares, because in some way and shape or form they think that this person will understand. And so even Trevor's like, yo, you have changed, you've been acting real different. And so he was like, I'm just angry. And I'm like, damn, then being angry at somebody else, go be angry at Frank, leave Fiona alone. And so anyways, damn, I mean, he was really mad, yelling. Fiona was even scared. She was like, cause she doesn't know where he's gonna go from this and come from, like where he's gonna go with it, because she knows that he has mental illness. And so then you get Kev and V, they're trying the dominatrix thing, and Kev is buying all these outfits. Where's Kev getting this money? They're supposed to be poor, not making any money from the bar, not making any money from V working over there at the restaurant with Fiona. Where does he get the money to buy these chaps, this leather stuff, and any type of thing that, when Kev wanted to be country country or be a redneck or whatever. He was buying all these outfits and stuff. He buys all this stuff. Where is he getting this money from? Where is he spending this money from? Is he the reason why that they broke? Is he just blowing money using the credit cards? Where's Kev getting this money? Even when he put all the candles up, where's he getting the money for buying all these candles and all this other different stuff? But anyways, so he tries to be dominant towards, V, and it doesn't work because he doesn't want to hit her with the paddle. The safe word is French fry. The other safe word was alley cat. Like, he can't do it. He tried the candle wax. He burned his hand. He thought it really hurts. But he can be dominant when it comes to V messing up with the twins or with the kids. When she used fabric softener on one of the kids are allergic to, and he was yelling at her because he has done this in the past where he gets really mad at V when she doesn't know what their daughters really need or whatever, or she does something that can actually harm them. And so she got turned on and finally had their little sex life going on. So I was like, okay. So I guess they found a way to keep their sex life on and popping. And so hopefully Fiona hooks up with the guy that fixed the doors, and we'll see what happens with Deb and her finding a new job in welding school, and actually what's going to go on with the baby daddy. And it seems like Fiona's going to have a new hookup, and it seems like Lip is going to have to find somebody else to care about. But right now Brad is going to be staying with him for 30 days until he gets clean and sober so he can go back home. And they didn't show Lip even dealing with Lip dealing with the girl at the shop that he was having rough sex with. And I guess he got past that. And so what's going to happen with Carl when he goes back to school? If he does go back to school, and is he going to have this girl that gave him the BJ Cassidy around? Because she seems like she's going to cause trouble for Carl. And he probably don't even know it, even though he was warned. And is Frank really going to make a lot of money going back and forth to Canada? Is something going to happen where he's going to lose his car, or he's going to get caught, or is he going to have Debbie working with him? So we'll see what happens. Anyways, peace. I'm out. One love.